Planning on driving to Mangaluru via Charmadi and don't know what the route's like? Well, watch this vlog. Sometimes when you're on the big highways, you don't really know what's happening, where you're passing through, right? But on this route, you will certainly know every town, every village that you're going through. A bit of a rough patch here, no roads, just some mud that's holding on to the surface and masquerading as a stretch of road. What a view. There you see the majesty of the mountain that we're going to scale. We have a bangde fry, we have a bhutai curry, sardine curry, and this I'm told is a spicy fish curry gravy. Illi ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಖಾರ ಇಷ್ಟ ಜನರಿಗೆ. That chicken curry is certainly full on in its flavor. Hi folks, welcome to a drive vlog. Just left Mangaluru, it's about 10:30 in the morning. If you've been following my recent work, you know that I just drove from Bengaluru to Mangaluru a couple of days ago. And the objective of this vlog series is to guide you as to which route you should be taking when you drive to Mangaluru, whether you should take the Shiradi route or the Charmadi route. So on my way here, I took the Shiradi route, and today as I return to Bengaluru, I'm going to take the Charmadi route. So the one thing that you need to keep in mind is that when you type Mangalore, Google's default option is to take you via Shiradi. I guess because it's a shorter route by about 25 kilometers or so, and also time wise maybe about half an hour in terms of what it shows. So if you want to go via Charmadi, you have to add Charmadi as a stop. So it's a beautiful day here. So when I drove in, it was hot and sunny, but as I am leaving Mangaluru, it drizzled here yesterday, and I think it's probably drizzled around this part this morning too. And therefore, it seems to be a little cloudy, a little overcast. So if you were to go via Shiradi to Bengaluru to home in Koramangala would be roughly about 7.5 hours and 350 kilometers. But because I'm taking the Charmadi route, it's added another 25 kilometers and half an hour. So as of now, my arrival in Bengaluru will be somewhere in the region of 6:30 in the evening, and I've got about 375 kilometers to go. Charmadi is roughly about 70 odd kilometers from here, under 2 hours to get there. Just crossing the first toll out here, 60 kilometers to Charmadi. We will take a left after about 3.5 kilometers or so to ascend the ghats to Charmadi. Of course, on the way in, we were descending the ghats. You must take a look at the Shiradi Ghat vlog to know what the drive was like. It was very easy in terms of the drive through the ghats, but the challenge was once we descended the ghats and got into South Canara, you know, all through there's work happening. Large parts of the highway has been relaid and there's still more work happening. So therefore, that was a bit of a struggle. So I don't know what it's going to be like on the Charmadi route, because I remember some time ago when I was taking the route, there was some road work happening, but I don't know if it's as much as what we experienced taking the Shiradi route. You got to be careful in these routes, especially as you cross through towns, because although the highway passes through town, for the people around here, this is still their town, so they kind of are a little relaxed in the manner in which they cross roads, take their autos, etc. So you've got to be careful. There you see traces of the road work happening on the route that we came in, but we're taking a left here. Beltangadi, Dharmasthala, Belur, Arsikere, Tumkur. Those are some of the places that you can get to on this route. We're in Beltangadi now, and I must say that the road's been very good so far, excellent in fact. Of course, it's a narrower highway as opposed to the other side, the other route, but the condition of the road has been superb. We have about 36 kilometers to Charmadi, and the traffic too has been rather light. Today is a Friday. We're also about 15 odd kilometers from a place called Guruvainakere, where I had visited this very old, 90 years old restaurant called Shenoy Restaurant. I'm not going to stop there this visit, but I have a Gourmet on the Road episode there, so you must take a look at that. It's a great stop for either a snack or even lunch. They do excellent vegetarian food, Gaur Saraswat Brahmin food. So if you're around here and you fancy some of that fare, definitely check it out. Shenoy Restaurant in Guruvainakere. We're at a place called Punjal Katte. People just stop in the middle of the road to get passengers, I suppose. So the other thing with Charmadi, this route, is that you will also pass through these little towns and villages on the way, where like this the road will narrow a bit. But I think that's part of the charm of driving on this route. Sometimes when you're on the big highways, you don't really know what's happening, where you're passing through, right? But on this route, you will certainly know every town, every village that you're going through. Just when I said there's no road work, well, there's some road work happening here, but this is a small stretch. Yes, I think I spoke too soon. There's some road widening work still happening here, just outside Punjalakatte. A vehicle can change your mindset. You know, you would be so careful about going through some of these. You would avoid those dirt roads, you would avoid those uneven surfaces, but not anymore with the Jimny. Bring them on. That's the attitude, that's the mindset. Also, the other thing that you may have to grapple with on this route is slow moving traffic, especially the autos and small goods vehicles and things like that. But I'm looking forward to getting to the ghats. I find the ghats, the Charmadi ghats, quite fun to drive on. It is challenging and it has its share of thrills. I need to get past this bloke. So on the Shiradi route, because the roads are wider, overtaking is quite easy. Relatively easy actually. But out here, because there's only that much tarmac, you got to plan your moves well. So at times you may be stuck behind slow moving traffic like this. So be patient. Dharmasthala is about 28 kilometers from here. So this is also the route to Dharmasthala and the temple there. I think even Sringeri is somewhere on this route, if I'm not mistaken. Some bad stretches here, but probably it'll give me an opportunity to overtake these autos in front, because I'm in the Jimny, you see. Yes, that's my opening, and I'm gonna take it. This is where the Jimny feels like the king of the road. Everybody's crawling along, but you can be a little more faster in your crawl. Yes. So there is some road work happening here too, from what we've experienced in the last few kilometers. But it's not of the same magnitude and scale as on the other route. A bit of a rough patch here, no roads, just some mud that's holding on to the surface and masquerading as a stretch of road. I think what makes a difference here on this route is the fact that there's not too much traffic. So even when the road is bad, there's not too much are happening around you that you need to maneuver through, and I think that makes a difference. So although you are encountering those bad roads and you are wobbling around, it's just you for the most part. But I guess if you come here on a weekend, there will be some traffic that you'll have to contend with. We just crossed Guruvayan Kere. The stretch before that was especially rough. There is still plenty of work to be done in certain stretches. So I suspect this is also very similar to what we encountered on the Shiradi route. But because the roads are smaller, so maybe it doesn't seem as tedious. We still have another 20 odd kilometers to hit Charmadi, and we will also hit the ghats now. We're now driving through Beltangadi. Quite a few eateries here. Look at that. Why do you need to speed at 60 or so through a crowded town? You're not going to get too far ahead. I'm so glad that I got the PPF done on my car, because driving through this, you're definitely going to get hit with stone chips and gravel and sand and all of that, and definitely not good for the paintwork of the car. Well, things are a bit slow here. Just crossed Ujre. This stretch, we still have another 14 kilometers to Charmadi. From Guruvayan Kere, even before that, through Ujre, and I suspect this is going to be the case even for the next few kilometers till we hit the ghats proper. And this isn't the sort of stretch that will be very kind to smaller cars. So if you have an SUV, perhaps you're okay, but smaller cars will struggle. I mean, you will drive through it, but it is going to be fairly uncomfortable for those sitting behind. I'm just hoping it gets better after Charmadi. Also that time of the day when I'm feeling hungry. So Kotigehara is after Charmadi, the next stop. So Kotigehara also has many of these eateries that do the neer dosai. They specialize in the neer dosai. And one of the eateries, the oldest one, is a place called Anil Hotel. So if you're going to take all morning getting to Kotigehara, I may stop there for lunch. Do some nice neer dosai, and they do a good chicken curry or a fish curry with the neer dosai. Terrible stretch all the way. We just crossed the Charmadi checkpost. The last 20 kilometers took about an hour. That's how slow and arduous the drive was on that section. I think out here there's no road work happening, so I think from here we should make good time, as much as one sensibly can in the ghats. What a view. There you see the majesty of the mountain that we're going to scale. I always find this is a more exciting route to drive on, especially if you like driving through the ghats. This is really a ghat lover's dream, driving on Charmadi. I just love it. And it's ghats all the way through, of differing magnitudes in terms of the slope, the steepness, the curve. So that's what makes it interesting. When you come here in the monsoons, it's lush. Of course, it's green even now, but that's a different shade of green altogether. It's rich, vibrant, and the sort that tells you that the earth has been well watered in the monsoons. And also along the sides of the hill, you will see green, you will see moss, you will see ferns. So everything is green, you will see very little brown. Steep hairpins all the way up. Always honk at blind curves. Never been in a hurry to overtake in the ghats, never. Because you don't know what's coming up, and the trajectory of vehicles is very different when on the ghats. And especially when you're facing oncoming traffic. So somebody who's coming down has a different set of conditions that they're encountering as opposed to a car going up. So always be mindful, be respectful of the road, and especially on the ghats. There's zero network here, but thankfully I have downloaded the maps, so I still have everything that I need. Reassuring to see the Google Maps screen there in front of you. Beluru is 63 kilometers from here. As we've emerged closer to Kotigahara, it's turned nice and sunny. Beautiful vistas all around me. Just amazing. I think one of the reasons why people love this route is also the scenery. So all those mountains that you see there in the distance, all that turns lush green soon after the rains, and it's quite a sight at that point in time. The other thing that you may have noticed on this route is that the heavy vehicles are far and few, because these ghats are much narrower than Shiradi, and therefore the truckers don't like to come on this route. There are no tankers at all on this route, and therefore also the roads on the ghats are very smooth. They've not been potholed or cratered because of the heavy traffic. So yes, today we got some road work on the way, but once we crossed Charamadi, the ghats have been very good, very smooth. And now we're approaching Kotigahara, so which perhaps means it's time for lunch. I'm going to see if Anil Hotel is open. If it's open, we may stop there for lunch. Namaskara. That is Mr. Baby, the owner of Anil Hotel. ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಏನಿದೆ, ಏನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ನನಗೆ ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ? ಕುಸ್ಲಕ್ಕಿ, ನೀರು ದೋಸೆ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಈಗ ಇದು ಸುಮಾರು ಬಂದಿದೆಲ್ಲ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಟೆಲ್ಗಳಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ಆಯ್ತು ನಿಮ್ದು ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಇದು? 55. Like they say, looks can be deceiving. This is certainly one of the places, those places where you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. So that is Baby's mom, who began this enterprise 55 years ago. So I have an episode in Gourmet on the Road. You must take a look at it. So I'm not going to really make this a review, but just a refresher of sort for my palate, because I haven't tasted his neer dosa in a very long time. Well, that's it, the Bisi Neer Dosa. This is what this place is famous for. So there's also a bus stop right opposite this place. Imagine this place goes back 55 years. So those days when people would travel, they would look forward to this stop here at Kotigahara, because they would get some Bisi Neer Dosa. Chutney, matte bangude. ಏನಂತಂದ್ರಿ? ಬೂತಾಯಿ, sardine, ಮತ್ತೆ chicken sar, chicken ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ. Well, we have all the dishes that we need. We have some chicken curry with some motte. We have a bangude fry. We have a bootai curry, which is the sardine curry. And this, I'm told, is a spicy fish curry gravy. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಖಾರ ಇಷ್ಟ ಜನರಿಗೆ. That chicken curry is certainly full on in its flavor. It's nice and thick, and the sort where you can mop up the gravy with that neer dosa. This is a roast dosa, neer dosa, but kadak. You can hear it crackle. Idu yaga madiddu bootai saru? Iga madiddu. Huli ide. So the bootai or the sardine is a strong flavored fish. So you need a masala which is also punchy. Idu pudi munchi. So less coconut, but more of the puli, the tamarind and the chilies. Super ಇದೆ. Now we'll taste this other fish curry. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮೀನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅವಾಗ? ಬಂಗಡೆ. Now let's taste some of that bangude. The bangude fry. The mackerel is thick in its fleshiness. Quite spicy too. Ideno sambara, teli saru. There's some rasam too. That has come. There's a non-stop procession of things coming to the table. That's what I like about this place. It's like I've arrived at Mr. Baby's home. Get some of that chicken this time. And certainly taste some of the aromatic spices in the flesh of the chicken. Love that crackle of that neer dosa. So good. So if you happen to stop here as a vegetarian, they also do a veg curry that you can have along with some chutney, tili saru, etc. But I think most of the people who stop here stop for either the fish curry or the chicken curry. Fantastic. The neer dosas are trooping out one by one from the tawa there. Well, baby also got some of these bulanjir that they were frying for home. So you got some of these for me to taste. That's the hospitality that I enjoy here. Like the crunch and the spicing in that masala. Well, that was a good lunch here at Anil Hotel. Slightly overindulged. I lost count of the number of hot neer dosai that I kept eating as Anil kept on serving me. Those roasted, crisp neer dosais. Quite nice, especially with the curry. The chicken curry I enjoyed. I loved the flavor of that garam masala in that. And also the fish curry. What was very sweet was the manner in which he brought out the bolenjir for me to taste. Very hospitable. So if you're on this route, driving towards Mangaluru or heading back, and you love neer dosai with some curries, definitely stop here. My arrival time has climbed up to about 8:30. I guess a function of my indulgent lunch and also the road conditions along the way up until Charmadi. But I think from now on it's pretty smooth, so I should be able to make up on some time. I was feeling a bit drowsy after that big lunch, so decided to stop for a cup of coffee at this place called Cafe Ibni. It's just a few kilometers after Koti Gayara, and it's a nice little perch on a tiny hillock. I've also done a vlog on this a while ago. I think it's part of one of my vlogs. So they do some nice akki roti palya. They also do some sandwiches and things like that. And plus they've got a bunch of knickknacks that you can buy. Sometimes people also select routes based on what's there to eat, right? So for me, a high point of this drive today on the way back was my meal at Anil Hotel. Bisi neer dosai with some nice curries. That's all that you need. And if you top it up with some good coffee, well, that's it. The chimney is looking nice and dirty, having spent ample time on the road. That's how you want your vehicles to be looking, right? So I still have another 5 hours 17 minutes, 263 kilometers to go. And it's a easy route from this point on. I'm going to hit Budigere first, then I will hit Belur, then find my way towards Hassan, take the Hassan ring road and find myself on the highway towards NH75 heading towards Devanhalli. Definitely stop here for coffee if you're in this area at Ibni Cafe. It's run by a brother-sister duo who are very affable, very soft-spoken in the manner in which they interact with their customers. They were just telling me that in the last 2 years, there are probably 10 cafes or eateries that have opened up in this place. And now because the Shiradi Ghat route, a lot of the road has been done up. Many people have diverted to that. They have customers, they have the regular customers, but I guess it's not as super busy as they used to be earlier. So on to Mudigere now. I was recently in the area where I visited a coffee estate in a place called Banakal, which is just about a few kilometers from where I had coffee and the Neer Dosa. It was a coffee estate sort of an experience. Definitely look up the vlog here on this channel. What's nice here is that you're driving through lush coffee estates, especially as you cross Belur and come towards the side. I find this to be a more picturesque sort of a route. You're seeing pretty much the life of people around you, pretty much immersed in the overall things that are happening around you as you drive on this route. On the Shiradi route, it's mostly the highway, and that's really what you see on both sides. It's broad highways, a lot of traffic, so you don't really have the time also to take in these vistas because you're constantly navigating through traffic. Whereas here, that's not the case. Ice apples are in season, Tatinungu. We're in Mudigere now and taking the right towards Belur. Growers Coffee House. I've heard of this new coffee shop that's opened. I should have probably stopped here for coffee and checked it out, but perhaps another time. So I saw some road widening happening on this stretch too. So I guess eventually all roads are going to be widened. Also a bit of a drizzle. I guess we needed this rain. We're in Belur town and we'll take a right now to go towards Hasan. The drive all the way through the Ghats and through Kotigara, Banakal, Mudigere has been rather smooth. Great roads all the way through. On this route you don't really feel the fatigue of driving at all. I guess because the roads are good, it makes a huge difference. Driving through Belur tends to be a little busy for this 1 kilometer stretch that we have, which is the main road here. The market, I suppose. It was nice that we got a bit of showers, so now it's a little nippy in the car. Another 224 kilometers to go. It shows a little over 4 hours. So I suspect the last 1 hour will be once we cross Nelamangala. I think the last 40-50 kilometers will take us roughly an hour and a half to 2, depending on the traffic situation in Bengaluru. What 175 kilometers we should do in about 2 hours or so. The only other bottleneck that we will now get is near Hasan. We'll get onto the Hasan ring road to cut to the NH 75, and that ring road has about 20 speed breakers. It was hot on the way to Mangaluru, entirely opposite weather on the way back. Just a light drizzle, that's all it took to transform the climate. Take a left, go to Chikmagaluru. About 20 kilometers, but we'll drive about 40 kilometers now towards Hasan on this road, the Hasan Belur road. On this stretch you got to be a little careful because it certainly gets busy, and also the road is narrow for the most part and undivided, and you've got vehicles that come quite fast. There's only 2 lanes, so they try to overtake, and many a times they end up crossing over to the other side. So you got to be a little watchful as you drive on this stretch from Belur towards Hasan ring road. But still great views, fields on either side. You've got the canopy of rain trees that you drive under. That's exactly what I was talking about. You have a bus overtaking, and then behind it you have a car that's also trying to double overtake without seeing what's in front of the bus. I think most mishaps are caused by our carelessness. I think most accidents are avoidable. I'm always intrigued whenever I pass through this part of this town. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called Basavapura. I'm not sure. I just saw a sign there, where you'll have rows of people sitting on the street and vending Adivasi oil. So I don't know what that means, but it's mostly the women folk. And everybody is selling the same thing, right? They're kind of all proffering bottles of the Adivasi oil. And you'll see these posters of women with long hair on both sides of the road. I really don't know what it is. Well, not that I'm looking for any hair oil as such. We're about 14 kilometers from Hassan Ring Road. Just took the left on Hassan Ring Road and the time is 5:23. So I left at about 10:30 in the morning, but I've only driven for about 5 hours or so. I mean, that's the time that the engine was on. Of course, when I'm filming, I stop a lot along the way to set things up, and also my drive style is slow and easy. And it shows I still have another 3 hours, 44 minutes to go. So I think roughly by the time I get home, it should be about 8.5 hours of driving. So this is a route that takes roughly about half an hour, 45 minutes or so longer than the Shiradi route. In terms of who should be looking at taking this route, well, this is my thinking. I feel that the Charmadi route is more adventurous. The Charmadi route is a little more challenging, especially when it comes to the ghats. The Charmadi route is also very picturesque. There's a lot that's happening as you're driving. So even in the ghats, I think it's beautiful when you look around you. I think both routes have their challenges with respect to road work. Shiradi definitely has a lot more. The stretch from Hassan to Sakleshpur is done, but once you descend Shiradi Ghats, that's where you find many stretches where there's still road work happening. You have similar challenges here on the Charmadi route as well. Perhaps at this stage it's a little lesser than Shiradi, but who knows in the future. As they progress in the road work and the highway expansion, it may change. So I feel that if you're the sort of driver who is not very conversant with driving on ghats, I think Shiradi route is a much better option. The roads are wide, the ghats are not too challenging. You can manage it quite easily. You'll also save about half an hour to 40 minutes of drive time per se. Charmadi route is for those looking for a bit of thrill, looking for a bit of adventure. Those who find driving on the ghats challenging, interesting, exhilarating, well, you should definitely take the Charmadi route. And if you like things that are picturesque, if you want to take in the scenery along the way, I think the Charmadi route is a great option as well. In terms of distance, well, from Bengaluru, from my home to Mangaluru is roughly around 350-360 odd kilometers on the Shiradi route, and maybe about 20-30 kilometers more on the Charmadi route. So I personally find the Charmadi route interesting, and I think that's the route that I'm going to be taking most often, unless I have something to do on the Shiradi route. For me, Charmadi just is fun. I just enjoy driving through the ghats there. I enjoy the scenery. I enjoy the various stops that come along the way, you know, be it for the neer dosa, be it for a coffee. And of course, there are many interesting food stops along the Shiradi route as well. So anyways, I think that's it for this drive vlog. I hope you found it interesting. So if you found it useful, do give this vlog a thumbs up. In case you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do consider subscribing. It helps me in the work that I do. And share this vlog with your friends, family, people who drive on the route, people who don't drive on the route, people who would like to drive on the route. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.